Today I want to talk a little bit about how to overcome infidelity in your relationship. And it applies to everybody. It doesn't matter if you're monogamous, non-monogamous. It doesn't matter if the betrayal actually happened in a friendship or in a romantic situation. But here are the steps that you need to utilize if you're trying to heal from a betrayal. So this has to be done by the partner who cheated, or by the partner who broke the agreement, by the person who betrayed, the betrayer, because it's upon you to heal the relationship now. So you've got to re-earn the trust of the person whose trust you betrayed, right? You've got to re-earn the trust of the person who you betrayed. So what does that actually look like? Well, first things first, let me do a little bit of a psychotherapy lesson on what happens to people when they experience a betrayal. And it can vary. So I always like to remind people that betrayal can feel like a trauma. But it really depends on how each person sort of processes the betrayal. If it's something that happens over time, or it really feels like the person got the rug pulled out from underneath them, like it comes as like a huge shock, that is going to be typically a bigger trauma. Then everybody's going to process betrayal differently. But how does it look? One thing that you can be sure that it's going to look like anger and rage. They're going to be so angry. They're going to be mad because they're hurt inside, right? And they don't trust you anymore. They can't trust you in certain aspects. So, and this anger and this rage can come out of nowhere. This is essentially like the cornerstone of PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder trauma. It can present, one of the symptoms is rage. And it comes out of nowhere because the person might just be going about their day and something reminds them about the betrayal, and all of a sudden they've lost it. They're completely back to where they were the day they found out. As the person who did the betraying, did the cheating, did the breaking of the agreement, it does fall on you to heal the relationship. You've got to ask yourself if you're willing to put in the time and the work, because at times it's going to be feeling like you're getting beaten up on. At times it might feel like they just won't stop, right? So you really have to ask yourself how important this relationship is to you, for you to stick around and be the person that helps to heal what happened. Now, most people don't stick around. And this is why betrayal often ends in divorce, breakups, ending of friendships, ending of relationships, because people just don't want to stick around for the hard work that it takes to be accountable for your own behavior. It is important for you to be vulnerable and for you to, at the end of the day, hold space for your friend, partner's anger. Because that's what it's going to take for them to be so angry and you're still sitting there and saying, yes, I understand you feel this way. I understand why you're angry. I understand that you're upset. Now, this is important, so listen up. The very thing that can undermine the healing is if you get defensive, if you get angry, if you start fighting back. These things will perpetuate the distrust, the betrayal, the hurt, the harm, and you're just going to be digging yourself in deeper. So you need to ask yourself, can you consistently hold the space for your betrayed partner while they heal? Now, you may be asking yourself, how long is this going to go on? How long are they going to be feeling this way? I don't know. Maybe you should have thought about that before you betrayed, before you stepped out. Here's the thing. They'll probably get over it pretty fast if you hold space for them. If you admit and acknowledge, I know what I did was wrong. Here's why I did it. I screwed up because I was insecure. I was scared. I didn't trust my own feelings. Do not put the blame on them. That's your therapist's job. See, job of a good couples therapist or partner therapist is to hold both parties accountable to the situation. But healing absolutely has to happen, and that has to happen by building trust. And the only way that you're going to build trust is if you own up to what you did and don't get defensive when they're angry.